fourth quarter, I'll be coming out with a brand new record. We still have the 4-part album that's coming out through my app, the Stadium app, which I'm extremely excited about, by the way. I'm recently officially at Atlantic Records. I was closing my deal, so that kind of gave me, set back the release originally because I was going to do it independently. And then, when I went out and kind of exposed the concept of what I was going to do, I got all these major offers, and Atlanta came with a great situation that I felt could work on a joint venture side of things. So I decided to, wait a little bit, close that deal, and then come out with the app. So now it's gonna, I'm gonna have the proper support behind it that it needed. And I'm glad they was able to see, the vision of where that was going. So fourth quarter, look out for it for sure. The most memorable one and favorite is probably be the one I did with Michael Jackson, because that was like the top of my list of to-dos, bucket list, and if I don't do nothing else, this has to happen. So, you know what I mean? And when that happened, I was like, I felt like I didn't accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish in music. The experience was amazing because he was the kind of person that I would never had expect to be the kind of person I expected to be. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of those, like, he was extremely funny, like, stupid funny. Like, we could never keep a straight face in the studio. But then he was like a master of disguises. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would go out in public places together, and he'd be next to me, and you would not even know that was him. Yeah, he was. Well, he was, wigs, mustaches, costumes, whatever the case. But you would not know. Like, it was one particular situation when we was in Vegas, and it was this IMAX experience that he wanted me to see, because it was like they had this new IMAX thing going out, and he was like, "You gotta see it, you gotta see it." And I was like, all right, cool. He says, nothing big, but just think of it's going to be fishes and whales, but don't worry about that. Just focus on the actual effect. I was like, cool. So we're going up the escalators, and all these fans spot me, right? They're running down. Oh, my God, it's Akon. Oh, my God, it's Akon. Can we take a picture? Da-da-da. So I'm up here taking pictures, and he's playing like the role of my security. Like, come on, we got to go, we got to go. But he's got it with this little tiny voice, like, come on, we got to go, we got to go. Right? So he's sitting there, and then after a while, he just decided he wanted to make a practical joke out of it. So we got this particular set of groups out with the picture. So now we're moving. I'm like, let's hurry up and go in so we won't have to catch another one. He said, you know what, you're right. We get like maybe 5 foot from the door, and he yells out, anyone want to take a picture with Akon? So at this point now, we're literally we miss half the show because we're out there taking pictures, and he's just sitting up there giggling. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Like, he'll do little things like that. And I'm saying to myself, I said, you know what? I should just give him up. Like, right here, I should just give everybody up and let everybody know who's right there. Like, but he used to just get a kick out of watching it happen to me. You know what I mean? And it was weird. I knew if I did it, we wouldn't be able to walk out of there. So I just had to sit there and take it. Actually, we connected through a mutual friend. He was actually one of our representatives was on the road with an artist that we was working with named Young Thug at the time, and he was doing a promo run and was passing through Memphis. And OG and Thug had a relationship previously before then, and through the connection with Thug, one of our representatives brought OG to my attention, and it was through there that I actually was able to listen to the music and kind of understand the kind of music that he was actually creating at the time. And I was more attracted to the fact that he was making reality music, because it was music that I hadn't heard in the business in a long time. I was surrounded by a whole bunch of demo tapes and artists that I was particularly working with at the time, and just kind of struggling to get real music out there, because lately music just haven't been saying too much, especially with rap. It's been kind of like just a lot of jibber jabber. But with his records, like, his lyrical content actually had some kind of meaning to it. There was some substance within the music, and he played a record for me called Problems, that as soon as I heard the record, I just kind of knew that would be a great record to kind of launch this whole process out, and it would better define the kind of records that he actually made, because it's like really storytelling with his, a touch of, you could say, just topic matter that actually has relevance in the environment that he comes from. Some may call it political, but I really call it more like a storytelling kind of, But he goes off the topic and does all kind of records, you know what I mean? But the records that made substance was the ones that really caught my ear. A lot of times I don't really know what I'm actually particularly looking for, but when I see it, I just know it. You know what I mean? And I think it depends on the time in which that artist may come across my path. With OG, the timing couldn't have been better because I just needed an artist with, and an urban artist with lyrical substance. You know what I mean? So it just made all the sense in the world for me at that particular time. And I think as we're moving into more real music, lyrical substance is now slowly coming back as well too. Because as I'm hearing current records that's out there, today, you can kind of understand what they're actually saying now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, because I think the biggest misconnection in the United States is the lack of education. And I think on the African American side, they're so fearful of understanding their history, doing more research and wanting to explore more about Africa, and the travels and the voyages and how they got here, and the aspect of their way of life and how it was actually framed up until the point of now getting the freedom and having to readjust to free life. You know what I mean? I think we still coming across a lot of that, pain from the past, and majority of African Americans just don't let the history, the negative part of the history go. And I think the best way to move forward is dealing with the future and how you can move forward without bringing the negative history with you. And I think that's been causing a lot of the conflict, because a lot of things that's happening today, we blame it on history. But I just don't personally agree with that, because history was made by different people with different mindsets and different environments. Today we have a choice, and we are free enough to make certain decisions. So we can make it without adding conflict to it, or creating or utilizing past history as a motive for why we make a decision today. Because we're clearly free. Like, it's not like we can't get up and do what we want to do. Back then we couldn't do that, but today we can. So our decisions can reflect where we at today and not where we used to be. And I think a lot of decisions are always made taking past history into account, and it always reflects and actually affects the decisions we make today and how it relates to how we're supposed to move forward.